Hi, how are you all? Welcome back to ARI, a way for searching knowledge. Today we are going to learn the square of opposition. When we analyzing the previous questions of NTA NET examination, you can see that there was a question on square of opposition in each and every shift. So it became important for us in our upcoming examination also. Here I am dividing the square of opposition into two parts, that is basic concept and questions on square of opposition. Questions on square of opposition. Okay. We can easily understand the basic concept of square of opposition through a picture. Now you can see the picture. It's a square box and I am dividing the square box into four crossly like this. Okay. We want to give some terms in each of this corner. You can see like this. Okay, before that, you know the vowels of English language. What are they? A, E, I, O and U. Here, you means you all, and you all are trying to understand the A, E, I and O. Okay, then there's a question before you, how we can put this A, E, I, O, U in this box. So, for that there is a trick. You know how to construct a Z alphabet. So, I am constructing Z here. In each point of this Z, we are giving the alphabet A, E, I and O. Okay. So, from this Z also we can construct the box, square box. Okay. Now, this corner is A, this corner is B, this corner is I and this corner is O. Okay, then we can go to this picture. This is A, this is E, this is I and this is O. A means all. A means all. E means no. I means some and O means some not. Once more, A means all, E means no and I means some and O means some not. This is example for that. Okay. Do you find any trends in this picture? Yes. What we seen in this slide? This right is all and some. This is a positive side. This side is negative side. Here you can see no and some not. Okay, this side is negative side and this side is positive side. Okay. Then we are going to understand the each side of this through this picture. Here there is a line. Above the line is universal proposition. Proposition means just statement. Okay. Above this line is universal proposition and below this line is particular proposition. Okay. Then what we learned in the previous slide, we can divide the box into right and left. This side is positive side and also this side is negative side. Okay. So, here above the line is universal side and below the line is particular sign. Then we are dividing this universal and also particular into two through the positive and negative. You can see here, you know that upper the line is positive side, upper the line is universal proposition. The universal proposition of this side is universal proposition, and this is below the line is particular and this is particular positive. Like that, this is universal and universal negative, and also here it's particular and particular negative. Okay. Then instead of positive and score of opposition, we are using the term affirmative. What we are using? Affirmative. So we can see that here the upper of the line is universal, this side is positive, so universal affirmative. So this side is negative, but this is universal, so we can say that is universal negative. Then the below of the line is particular. Then the particular, this side is positive side, so this is positive particular affirmative. Then this side is particular because it's below line, so it's particular negative. Okay. So they have some concept in square of opposition like contrary, contradictory, subordination, subcontrary, etc. So we are moving toward that. First, contradictory. Contradictory is the relationship between A and O and also E and I. The contradictory relation is between A and O and I and E. Okay, here also we can construct the box. Okay, so they have some rules for contradictory statement. We are moving toward that. First statement, if one is true, the other will be false definitely. What it say? If one is true, the other is false definitely. This is the relation between this contradictory statement. Okay, then we are moving toward next. If one is false, the other will be true definitely. If one is false, other will be true definitely, because it's an opposite direction. Opposite statement. The statement are opposite statement. Okay. Then third one is, if one statement is undetermined, if one statement is undetermined, the other statement also undetermined. What it means? If we don't know if the statement is true or false, we don't know that. Then how we can predict the other? Okay, then if one statement is undetermined, the other statement also undetermined. Then fourth statement is, both cannot be true or false at the same time. What it means? If this is true, this will be false. This can't become true because these are opposite relations. Once more, contradictory statement. Under contradictory statement, they have some rules. The contradictory relation is between A and O and also E and I. First rule is, one is true, the other will be false. If one is false, other will be true, because this is in opposite direction. Then if one is undetermined, we don't know if it's true or false. We don't know it's how we can predict the other. We can't do it. So if it's undetermined, this also will be undetermined. And also the fourth statement is both cannot be true or false at the same time. Both cannot be true or false at the same time. If it's true, this will be false because this is in opposite direction. This cannot become true. Now we are moving toward the next statement, that is contrary statement. Contrary statement shows the relation between universal affirmative and universal negative. When we draw the line here, this became the upper portion. So this all are universal statement. So it shows the relation between universal affirmative and universal negative. Okay. In another way, we can see that it shows the relation between A and E. A means all statement and E means no statement. So it shows the relation between A and E. If we draw the square box here also, then this became the top corners. Okay. Then in another word, the contrary statement shows the relation between the upper corners of the square box. Okay. Then we are moving toward the rules of contrary. Both cannot be true at the same time. Both cannot be true at the same time. If one is true, there is no chance other one also true. So there is no chance. Then, but both can be false. But there is a chance that both can be false. Okay. Maybe. Okay. Then, second one, if one is true, the other will be false definitely. That we know from the first statement itself. If one is true, then it can't become true. So it might be false. So the third one is if one is false, the other will be doubtful. That we shown from the first statement itself. What it means? If one is false, the other must be doubtful. Must be doubtful. It may be false or it may be true. They have a chance. Okay. Once more. If one is true, the other one not became true. Okay. But from this statement itself, we can see that if one is true, the other will be false definitely. But there have a chance that both became false. So that if we know one statement, among this one statement is false, we cannot predict the other statement because it may be true or false. So we can say that it's doubtful. Okay, I'm removing all this from this slide and simply if one is true, the other will be false. Okay, then if the statement, any of the statement is false, then other will be doubtful. That's it. Okay, I think now it's clear for you. Now we're going to learn the third statement of square of opposition, that is subcontrary statement. Subcontrary statement state the relation between I and O. In other words, we can see that it established the relation between some and some not, some and some not. And also we can see that it's between the particular affirmative and particular negative. Okay. When we want to remember all these things in our memory, so I'm drawing the same square here also. So the relation between A and E, we learned that the relation is called contrary. Okay. The subcontrary is between I and O because this is come first and this come last. This is upper side and this is lower side of the square. So that's why it became subordinate. Okay, sub into the main contrary statement, that we can call it as subcontrary statement. Okay, so it establishes the relation between I and O, and also particular affirmative and particular negative. It shows the relation between particular affirmative and particular negative. Okay, this is some and this is some not. Okay, you want to remember all those things. Then we are going toward the rules here. It's sub-contrary, not contrary. Okay, then we are moving toward that. What it says, both cannot be false at the same time. But what it means, both cannot be false at the same time. If one is false, the other will be true definitely. Okay, but both can be true. But there is a chance that both can be true. Okay, both can be true. Just opposite of contrary statement. So remember this all. Then what the second statement says, if one is false, the other will be true definitely. If one is false, other will be true definitely. Okay, this both we covered already. Then one is true, the other will be doubtful. The same as the above. If one is true, then if one is true, the other will be doubtful. The other will be doubtful here. So we not need this statement here. So simply what it means, if one statement is false, the other will be true definitely. The other will be true. And if one statement is true, the other will be doubtful. Okay. Now we are moving toward the subalternation statement, that is fourth statement, subalternation statement. You can see a lot of rules here, but we not need this all rules here. We can easily understand this through this the pictorial representation. Okay, so please wait for it. Subalternation statement established the relation between A and I and also E and O. In other words, we can say that it established the relation between universal affirmative and particular affirmative, and also universal negative and particular negative. We can also draw the square here also. So we can see that it establishes the relation between the sides of this square. Okay. Then we are making all this easy for you. Listen guys, you know, the Romans From where it arises? It will arise from lower level. Am I correct? Okay, it will arise from lower level and it will travel toward the superior level. Okay. But if they have any rules created by the superiors, that will be travel towards the lower level. Listen guys, when we take the rumor as a false statement, if it's a false statement, now we are assuming here rumors are false statement. Okay, so if this is false, then it will move toward the upper level, but the superiors were created rules and regulations and they were taking decision. It must be true. Okay, this all are imagination. It may be true or may not be true. Okay, you need not go toward the truth of the statements. So please listen guys. So here the superiors created the rules and regulation, and that this all are true statement also. So it will move towards the lower level. Truth will comes from the upper side and it will travel toward the lower side. One more thing. If this statement, I statement, if is true, it will not move into upper level. Okay, like that, if the E statement is false, it may not travel toward the lower level. You want to understand this concept first one more time. If you assume that the rumors are arising from the lower level and it will move toward the upper level, and also the truth, this rumors we are assuming it as false statement, then the false statement will arise from the lower level and it will move toward the upper level. But if the statement is true, it will not move toward the upper level. Okay, like that, the truth statement will comes from the upper level and it will move toward the lower level. Okay, and also one more thing is if this statement, if the universal statement is false, it will not move toward downward also. These are the basic concept of square of opposition. If you like my video, don't forget to subscribe. Have a good day ahead. Thank you.